Hello folks, welcome back to Scale Hectic. Hope you enjoyed the first video. If you didn't see that, I will include a link up here to it, and there'll be one at the end of in the end screen at the end of this video if you want to watch all of this one first. In the last video we sort of got the track up and running. We did some construction works in terms of the support for the track. In this video you'll see that all that is done now. I've been running the track now for a couple of months actually. It's been quite a while, and I've made a few changes here and there which I'll talk about with you today. They sort of I've reprofiled a few corners just to make them a little bit more interesting. We spoke about that back wall there. I've done that. I did record a video on this canvas here whereby I put the lighting behind it, which you'll probably see better without the lights on. Probably see that a bit better there. It's not really interesting enough for one video, so I might just put a little bit of footage of how I did that in here. But the main thing is, if I just show you around the track quickly, spin you around. So I've reprofiled this corner. I've actually got the original one down here. So that was, sorry guys, that was what was originally there, which was just sort of one radius all the way around, which I don't particularly like. Real corners aren't like that. So you can see the difference there. What I've done is, so I've opened up the entrance and exit with the sort of next size up radius, and I've kept the tight bit in the middle. I did a similar thing. This one at the end, it's very difficult to see because it's under the track above. That is all the larger radius Carrera all the way around, so that makes that corner a little bit easier because cars coming off under that, what will be a tunnel, will be a bit of a pain. That one there, again, similar sort of thing. Opens up on the entrance and then tightens up on the exit. This one, I think from memory, that's just the same all the way around, and so is that one. So yeah, so just a few changes really that just made it a little bit more interesting. I like being able to sort of, when you come out of a corner, to be able to hang the back end of the car out a bit, which is something else we've got to deal with in a minute. I've also started to sort of lay out where the pit lane will be. I've bought that from Magnetic Racing. That's one of their pit lane garages. I just wanted to get the depth of it to work out sort of what I've got between. I'm probably going to sink this under that level. That's sort of my thoughts at the moment. I don't need I mean, I really like these, and I will do more building of these, and you'll see that on the channel. But yeah, all this detail at the back is actually not going to be seen at all in this layout. But yeah, we'll go into more detail on those in another video when I start doing more of that sort of work. I've got more things to go up on the walls, and I've got another, that's one of their, again, Magnetic Racing, that's one of their grandstands. So I've really got those to sort of start working out where things are going to go. But yeah, the main thing I need to be doing today, which is what I'm going to show you today, let's just get that out of the way, is how we stop the cars on the outer lanes of the corners when they come round. Obviously the back end swings out and then they de-slot. That can happen on entrance and exit. So you can buy proprietary, extensions with barriers from Carrera that solve that issue, but they're expensive and they're limiting in terms of, like, in this room I've only got so much gap between the walls, and that happens in various locations around here, up there, and I need to be able to have a little bit more flexibility on how wide that is. Yeah, and basically the other problem is obviously right back there. If cars fall down behind there, I can't get them. I did solve the issue. I mentioned in the last episode how I was going to perhaps make a hole here and there to be able to gain access to the cars, but I'm just going to use this, and it works really well. It's got a magnet on it, so you can pick them up via magnet, or I can just grab them, and that's proved to work pretty well, provided they don't fall down there. Fall down there, can't get them. So that's going to all be closed off, probably a grandstand sort of there, just so that cars physically can't fall down there. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is get set up and show you how I'm going to build my own extensions so that the back end of the cars can swing out. So let's get started. Okay, so the first step is to measure the thickness of the track as it sits on your base. This is how I'm doing it. So you can see that that is 9mm. So I purchased some 9mm MDF boards. These are about, I think they're about £14 each, something like that. So I'll put this one underneath the track now. I'm working out sort of how far the car's likely to swing out, which I'll sort of measure that later. If it's any further than that, it's probably off the track anyway. So then I'm going to scribe around, I'll just put a pencil line all the way around, which is going to give me where I need to cut that. This piece here I'll fill in with another piece later. I think these are quarter sheets, these bits of MDF I've ordered, or I bought. They're easy, you know, they're easy to transport in a vehicle. So you can just go down to the DIY store and get them. So that now gives me the line I need to cut all the way around there. Obviously I know that's going to fit there, and then I just need to work out, do I want this to come all the way out to here and then do my landscaping off of there, or do I want to sort of finish this first at whatever depth I want to finish it at, and then put a barrier on there and then do my landscaping from there onwards. That's probably the way I'm going to do it. So I'll get this cut first, drop that in, and then we'll make the next decision. Okay, so I've got that piece cut. As you can see, it fits in there quite nicely. There's a few different sort of height situations going on. You can see one there. That's because I've used two different thicknesses of material, the baseboard. I don't know if I mentioned why I did that before. It's purely because it's leftover materials from projects I've been working on the house, so I just used what was there. So it would have made my life a bit easier if I didn't do that, because then this would all sit nice and flat. But this will all be pinned down, and I can get that all leveled up, and that'll be fine. But as you can see, now the car can spin round onto that, no problem at all. The second part of it is I've got this material here, which is a sort of ribbed piece of softwood. Again, you can pick that up from any, well, I got it from B&Q, and the plan is that will obviously follow the curve round, but as you can see, you can bend that quite easily round to the curve, and I shall just put like stanchions, uprights drilled. I've sort of decided how to do it now. Originally I was thinking I might cut the MDF down to the to the thickness and then pin this to the outside of it, but I don't think I'm going to do that. There's actually another version of this which is only 2 ribs high. You can see that's 3 ribs high on that one, but there's another version that's 2 ribs high, which is probably what I will use. And then what I'll do is can't really do this with one hand. Let me just yeah. So what I'll probably do is drill holes into there and either use metal rod or dowels to support this in place. Then I can sort of bring it in and out however I want gradually. You can see how that tapers in there where it starts to get a bit narrower. Then meaning that the car's, if the back end of the car is hanging out, it's not got any sort of edges that it will hit. It will just sort of gradually be pushed back in again, and therefore not slide off in theory. So I mean, that is basically the the sort of premise of it, just turn you around. Yeah, that's sort of basically what I'm going to do. What I've got to decide to do now is what colour I'm going to paint it. I think I'm probably going to go for probably grey. I don't know why. I like the idea of it being, of sort of tyre marks being shown on it. Grey is probably not really the right colour, but I can always change it at a later date. But I think maybe I would paint it grey first. I've got some grey, I think. But yeah, I'll go round and do the rest of the track with that. So obviously that piece in there, I've then got to do support the bridge across, fill in that piece there. So yeah, I'll see how I get on. And yeah, let's just crack on really. We'll take, oh, you probably haven't noticed, or you may have noticed, I had to tidy up all this wiring. I always said I was going to do it. So that all goes underneath now because it was lifting the track up over there. So off camera I did that, just sort of fed that all under. This will all change because I'm not going to stick with these controllers, don't like them. So I will be changing to a more trigger type controller, and they will end up being attached to this wall along here once all that gets painted and all this sort of stuff ends up on all the walls. So yeah, I think that's probably sort of the end of this video, giving you an insight as to what I'm going to be doing there. I'm going to crack on and get on with that. I may show you some more bits. If not, I shall catch you on the next video. Cheers then, bye bye.